Previously in X-Men. That is the name of the show, is it not?
Yes.
We're live? All right. Excellent.
Yes.
I'm so happy to hear that. When Wolverine sees a threat, follows the scent, and strikes, there is no earthly force that can stand in his way. In the case of his young teammate, Rachel Summers, also known as Phoenix, Logan believed her when she intended to murder the psychic vampire, Selene. You see, to Wolverine, there's a meaningful difference between a righteous kill and cold-blooded murder. But will the other X-Men buy into such semantics in the face of betrayal and loss of life? And where is Rachel now? I am Jason Lapidus.
I am Chris Sanagan.
And we are Group of 7 Comics. Welcome to episode 137 of our ongoing Tuesday night live stream read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic as we read Uncanny X-Men issue 208 by Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr., and Dan Green. Cover date of August 1986, the greatest year in comics history. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, good.
How are you?
We're done.
Good. Okay.
You're good? I'm good?
Good. We're all good. Perfect. Everybody's good? Excellent.
You did some traveling. You come back. You're safe and sound. Everything good?
Some traveling to the home of Jessica Drew and the scene of Rogue stealing Carol Danvers' powers in San Francisco.
Did you drove or did you flew?
Oh, I flew.
Okay, you flew. Good. Good to hear. I'm glad you're back safe and sound. And,
I did. And that's all I could think of when I was on the Golden Gate Bridge. I was like, this is exactly where Rogue Carol Danvers fought.
It wasn't much of a fight either, was it?
It really wasn't, no. Yeah.
At least the version we first saw, the version like in Rogue's Nightmare a couple issues ago, that looked like a little more back and forth. But that first version, not much of a fight.
No.
But I'm glad you're back safe and sound, and you got to do the things that you got to do, and your family was all well.
Yeah, everything's great.
That's good.
West Coast was good to me.
I'm happy to hear that. Let's say hello, of course, to Allie, who says, Happy Tuesday, all you awesome nerds, and happy autumn. And Michael says, hello, everyone. Yes, hello to you both. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying the change of season. We experienced a pretty significant change in climate to go with the change in season. I should say the change in weather to go with the change of season. It is now absolutely fall here in North Toronto, or the north of Toronto, as lots of leaves have changed colors and coming off the trees already, and it got darker the last couple days, like significantly darker faster, as we've also had some misty, cloudy days here, so it's definitely feels like another time.
We haven't had the temperature drop yet, though. It's a little bit, but it's still like kind of like 19, 20 degrees Celsius, which is, pleasant.
Last week it was 27 some days.
Right.
So it felt, I mean, Michael says it seems like a change all at once, or seems to change all at once. Here it really, in my home, like my attire has shifted in the last 3 days. So I'm happy about it. I like my fall clothes.
You got your winters on yet?
My winter tires. For those who live, I guess, north of the frost line, or if that's even a thing. We got to put on winter tires and all that kind of stuff. I'm not changing tires for a long time.
Okay, someone's at my front door.
Oh, good. Do you want to go handle that?
I'm going mute here.
Okay, you go handle that.
Go handle that.
And we'll just quickly talk about, X-Men 208, but also introduce the news of the day in comic book world when it comes to the MCU and such. Allie says, all my windows are open and I have a tank top on. There you go. Please send some fall weather to Philly. I'm sure it'll come. I don't know how significant the weather difference is in Philadelphia. I know that it's more coastal, of course, and I imagine a little more humid. Toronto can be an incredibly humid city, but, I don't know Philly very well in terms of living there day to day. So I imagine it'll get there if it's not there. By the end of tomorrow, I'll do what I can, okay? We'll work on that one, Allie. Chris and I want to quickly chat, if we have the chance, about Agatha all along. We'll talk maybe for a second. I've seen the first 2 episodes. I don't think Sanagan has seen any. That being said, I'm watching it. It's okay. I'm not a huge witch comedy, that whatever genre that is, like like that Hocus Pocus and Charmed. So the witch drama with insert of comedy in there, I've never been a big fan of the genre. That being said, if you haven't seen Agatha all along, definitely watch. Come up with your own conclusion as to whether you like it or not. My take on it so far, I'm 2 episodes in, and I just wasn't buying into the order in which the story was being told and how it impacted my viewing of it. So, for instance, in all of these kinds of stories, across multiple genres, whenever a character is going on that kind of journey, there's a moment where they cross the threshold. And we know where we left Agatha. Spoilers, no spoilers on this. We left Agatha at the end of WandaVision, where she basically was under a spell, a hex, so to speak, from the Scarlet Witch, where she does not know who she is. She is just in another persona, buried deep underneath a persona without any of her powers, and like living a life in Westview, the town that Wanda, I'm gonna just use the word occupied, anyway, kind of held hostage for that time period. So she is buried deep in there, and for her to battle out and then also assemble this kind of ragtag coven to walk, as they call it, I think, the Witch's Road. I would have preferred it, I think, if there wasn't enough time to care about any of the other reasons that any of the other characters want to walk on the road and why they would agree to go there with a person that they all seem to despise. I think I needed an exterior player, a handler who assembles the crew, and maybe we see like that recruitment as like the 2-minute, not quite flashback, but the 2-minute thing at the beginning of each episode is this handler going and getting, whether it's Aubrey Plaza's character, whoever that is, or another character, but someone who is aware of what's going on. And for them, they want to, like a Loki type character, but not Loki, but like that trickster with their own agenda. And they're manipulating everyone because they want to walk the Witch's Road as well. And they need to get Agatha to do it. So at the start of each of maybe the first 4 episodes, you see them recruit and manipulate each of these witches into coming out of their pedestrian lives and joining her on this quest. And then, but we've already gotten there, like in the first episode with Agatha. So they all kind of show up and get Agatha to come in. But I need her to like fight to get out of that Scarlet Witch hex persona when she's going to enter and cross the threshold. Like I needed that choice to be the same choice. It's the choice to shed the life before her and go through the door. And she can only go through if she sheds it. So like it's a real active choice to like fight to join this quest. And of course she's being manipulated. And we're gonna root for her. We're gonna like if she's being twisted into doing it, then she has sympathy by Mephisto or whoever. Then I'm on her side. Like I want her to get out of the grip of whoever this person is. But at the moment, I don't like her. I see she's manipulating everybody. She has her own agenda. I haven't bought into her agenda. So I'm not actually on her side. I'm not rooting for the villain or the anti-hero, but I need to be for me to care about any of the characters in the show. So I wish that they had a trickster who's manipulating everyone to walking this road, and everyone's going to have to find a way to get out from under the thumb of this trickster character. But that's not the show we're watching, so I'm finding I'm not connecting with any of the characters yet, because none of them have any redeeming qualities yet. But after 2 hours, I should care about everybody. There you go. That was my long take.
Thank you for filling up the time while I handled some things.
That's what a lot of people in my life say to them. They say, Jason, thank you for filling up the time.
They're like, I really didn't need that, but I mean, since you did it. Okay, did you talk about the other MCU?
No, I didn't talk about Thunderbolts because you and I have both seen
Asterix.
Oh, is it?
Thunderbolts Asterix.
What do you think the asterisk is about?
It's the Franco-Belgian Asterix character is going to come, and they're going to have, it's going to go back to Roman times, and there's going to be involve Caesar and a whole bunch of hilarity.
I'm so glad I asked you that then. Do you think it's because they're not really the Thunderbolts? Like they are maybe being called that, but they're not really. Like there's, maybe
another team.
Well, maybe that they think they are a team, but they're not. How about that? I don't know.
I don't know.
So you want to talk about the trailer? So if you haven't seen already, Marvel Studios and Disney and everyone posted the new trailer or I should say the teaser, because it is just the first look. So the difference between is about when they come out, but more importantly, a teaser shows you a series of things that set the mood for the movie, or try and convey the mood and the feelings of the movie.
Yes.
Whereas a trailer is a shortened version of the story. You should have a clear idea after a trailer as to what the movie is about.
Yes.
And at this point, we don't really know, but a lot of us can put it together because we're savvy enough.
And that's always been the playbook of the MCU. But a teaser that shows some action, some sequencing, some things, some things, some things from behind, and then you go, huh? And then there's a trailer that gives you like, this is the story that's happening.
Right. It's kind of the industry standard here in Hollywood land.
Sure.
You give a teaser, then at least 2 to 3 trailers.
Sure.
So what did you think?
First impression? So all right. So what is the goal of a teaser trailer? Is to maybe get you excited, get you interested, introduce certain characters, set up some things, maybe. But maybe also misdirect,
Just show us the mood. Just show us some interesting imagery.
And I was okay. I was down for sure with, first of all, I think Florence Pugh as an actor is fantastic.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so like if she is going to be the protagonist, like the one, so we have a book with an ensemble cast, of characters, right? Our comics, Group of 7 comics available at group7comics.ca. We have our book, and when you have so many characters in a book or on an adventure, it's difficult. It raises challenges in terms of ample time for each character, development wise. Also, are they coming around a certain point? Is there a primary protagonist? All these kinds of things. I don't know if she is it, but honestly, in everything I've seen her in, I think she's great. And so
she's very strong.
Steps onto that screen in that trailer, and when she knocks on Red Guardian's door, Dad's door, and says that she's missing something in her life. I was like, I'm in right now. Go on that journey.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's going to be. It shows her, things exploding. Maybe she's just being assassin for hire. She's empty. She has no purpose. And so
she's fulfilling someone else's purpose.
Right. Or something
else. Just Valerie, like whatever her name is, Contessa.
Yeah, Contessa, right. And so then it gives you the, and obviously the David Harbour character is also not full nor not fulfilled. And then you get a series of characters who are doing things, and maybe just life didn't turn out the way for them, and they're doing other things. I don't know. And so like I was a fan of the John Walker. I liked his portrayal Kurt Russell's kid. And so, like he's lost. He doesn't know who he is. He was Captain America. He went over the line, and now he doesn't know who he is. Right? Like all these.
He's also being handled by.
Yeah. So, I like that. I like that idea of this. Like, there seems to be a real pathos that came through.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. The last time I saw, it's giving me like Captain America: Civil War vibes. And Winter Soldier, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just because it has Bucky in it, but just because like that kind of military espionage, black ops type stuff going off the books. And then, but also there's obviously clearly a whole bunch of others. And then of course we get the Sentry showing up. So however that works into it, Bob, and you see the logo and it's there. However that all plays in, who knows? But for 2 minutes, and I there's so many, and it's so great. I will say that I was in for sure. I'm like, would like to see more of this, absolutely. And two, it's featuring characters who didn't are strong. A lot of them are arguably strong enough. Some of them are as actors to carry their own films. So you get David Harbour, who is a great actor, and he's I don't know who knows how long he's in it. I don't even know. But the point is I'm like, it's great to see him. I was happy to see these characters back. I mean, some of them I have you get a bit more time with. So that was kind of fun to see. I don't know. What are your takes?
Something between Bucky and Black Widow as maybe the A story, B story that then collide.
Right.
That kind of thing. We see them collide in the trailer.
We do.
Or the teaser. We see Bucky taking shots at the car that they're in. For some reason, he's on their tail, which is great. I'm so happy to have them against each other for whatever reason. And we know that they're going to
has them together. Then it has them together, right?
Yeah, we see them also in the scene
Val, right?
Right. So I'm looking forward to that, and I do think, Florence Pugh can be the glue that holds the rest of the group together, and that's totally fine. Ensembles are challenging, but there are, like you said, enough strong pieces, and there are also some that are decidedly weaker. Like the audience doesn't really care what happens to Ghost, whether she dies this movie or not. No one's
unless they make us care, right?
Unless they make us care.
Unless the movie makes us care.
Okay, but she can die in a way that we're like, it's cathartic and feels good that she's gone, but it's not ruining any franchises. You know what I'm saying?
They've got some.
They've got a couple
parts. Some Suicide Squad-ish parts.
They've got some expendable characters, which is good. They've got some. Obviously, everyone's returning, other than Bob, and I'm all in. It's lots of fun. So there's some. Firstly, in the chat, let's just say hi to Conrad. Hope you're doing well, man. I've not seen you in ages, and I'm looking forward for that to change.
Yeah.
Chuck and Allie and Michael are going about which of the MCU movies are their favorite. Yeah. Captain America: First Avenger, lots of good stuff in there for me as well. Winter Soldier is definitely, if I have time for one movie if I have time to only watch one in a day or over a weekend or whatever, Winter Soldier is usually the top of my list. If I have more time, because of the buildup that I've already been on, I'm always game to start.
Yeah.
Infinity War and Endgame. Like I'm ready for that emotional 6-hour ride at the drop of a hat whenever I can. But yeah, those movies they've got so much in it for us, and I'm glad that we all connect on those things. It has been tons of fun to have those as part of my canon of movies that help define my fandom. Like, I'm so glad they're there. They're a huge part of that. Winter Soldier, like I said, is the first one where I was like, like Cap storming that boat is just like, this is exactly what I want all the time.
All the time.
I want this in a Batman movie. I want this in this is a version of Captain America that I'm so down with all the time, and I'm so glad it happened, and that movie exists, and that I've got my my Blu-ray, and I can watch it whenever I want, as well as streaming. But whatever thing makes you, whatever floats your boat with those movies, I'm down. This seems to align with a lot of our taste, so I'm happy for that. Conrad adds Wednesday night reviews, by the way. Subscribe to his channel and watch his interviews.
Definitely do that.
And live streams. Conrad says, I think my fave is the original Avengers, but Falcon Winter Soldier series is my favorite of the TV series, now not counting Netflix Daredevil. Well, at least you're sane on that one. I mean, he didn't say Defenders, so we're good. Random question from Chuck. Has Rick Jones ever made an appearance in the MCU? No.
Which one's Rick Jones again? Is he the other cat? What's his name?
Great question. It's from you there, Chris. Which one is Rick Jones? Good. Chuck, thank you for bringing it up. Rick Jones is the original Marvel kid psychic.
Marvel kid psychic.
Sidekick.
Oh, sidekick. Who's not a psychic.
No, he's not. He might have gone through a period of being psychic. So you have to remember, like, coming out of the 40s and 50s, the guys who are basically running Marvel, I mean, not running, but creating the narrative at Marvel, which is Lee and Kirby and Ditko, that group, that core, especially in this case, Lee and Kirby, they are there's like Newsboy Legion every hero they're coming from the sidekick era
Right.
of Bucky and etc. So Rick Jones is the canon speaking here, like the original guy. He's the one who is endangered in the testing ground where Bruce Banner goes to rescue him, and then Bruce Banner is exposed to the gamma bomb.
Right.
And so Rick Jones becomes entangled with the Hulk as his human anchor as he goes through all of his things. And then he's there at the assembly of the Avengers, and he's there, for all of these pieces. He becomes Cap's sidekick for a while, becomes Bucky for a little bit. When Cap first awakens and he sees Rick Jones in his haze, he's like, Bucky, you've come back. He's there for all those characters along the way. And at different times he's been, he's had powers. He's been the Hulk. He's done everything, been everyone that like Kirby touched as a creator, like Rick Jones has made an appearance. If that makes any sense.
Is he dead?
In the comics, it doesn't really matter. Continuity, it doesn't matter. If he ever died, it wasn't important because he's an analog, right? He's analog for the reader. He's every little kid reading along, but he's, and then yes, he gets tied to the original Captain Marvel as his sidekick. And I think he's like maybe cosmically tied to the Captain Marvel entity.
Okay.
Kind of like banging the things together. Anyway, none of it really matters. He has not been in the MCU, which is the only question that really matters here. But the idea of him being like this little kind of not hippie kid, but like rockabilly kid playing his acoustic guitar out in the Nevada desert on the testing grounds and not noticing the sign and getting rescued. So he's just that, freewheeling scallywag kind of.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
But it'd be fun. He should make an appearance in some way. I don't know how they'd work him in hindsight. Yeah.
It was, what? I will say this. There was I think go back to the Thunderbolts trailer. It did the thing.
Keep going.
It did the thing which they do well in those trailers, from a fan service perspective, where it might show some cool action sequence. And the fact that they're all in that room together and they all have like similar assassin skills, and they're like throwing the knives and they're all going around and blanking and blocking and catching and throwing. I was like, that's fun. I'm like, this is fun. This is fun.
I think we're all game for that stuff, right? Like, just to see however it's going to play.
Exactly.
And like those pissing contests are kind of fun.
Yeah.
And to see those skill sets play out.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So I didn't find right away like the Hulk version, but there's Cap waking up from his first day at like sleeping.
God.
The way he sleeps like my dog. And he's like, Bucky, it's you. And he's like, no, it's just Rick Jones.
It's me, Rick Jones. Richard Jones the Third.
He's Robin. He's everybody.
Yeah.
But he's the kid that has like a gang of friends that follow the Avengers and then get themselves in trouble and all those pieces.
Hey, Daredevil's got that weird street crew of kids in the Nascenti run that are constantly hanging around.
I haven't read
8 Ball. I think it's like 8 Ball's one of them. It's like, 8 Ball, what are you doing on that skateboard? It's like, listen, PD, or something like that. I don't know, Cue Ball. I don't know, something like that.
Well, the Cue Ball, and then and I'll be 12 Ball.
Yeah.
Barney, you're 12 Ball.
Exactly.
Isn't that what he calls him? When Homer's naming everybody in the posse when they're gonna catch the cat burglar?
That's right.
Someone's 8 Ball, he's Cue Ball, Barney's 12 Ball, or whatever it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will get to that Daredevil Nascenti run. I wanted to collect them all first before I started reading.
Which you did, right?
No, I don't have them all. I'm maybe 2/3 of it, but I have never been as heated in my pursuit of that collection as you have been.
Yes, which is now complete.
I've been heated in several other directions.
Speaking of Romita Jr., right? I mean,
yes.
He does the lion's share of that great run. Anyway.
Yes, he does. Speaking of Romita Jr.
Speaking of GRGR.
Let's speak of him. Crazy cover. I kind of wanted to go and desaturate that background a little bit.
Sure.
Because those characters are all crazy colors or regular colors, I should say. But then in front of that insane 100% magenta, I kind of wanted to push it back for our graphic for the show, but I don't have time for that. But I wanted to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
like I wanted to mask out the characters and then visibly push him.
There is
deeper
too
the
much
background.
color on this.
There is too much color. It's pretty insane. Chuck wants to remind us, of course, that Paul Smith is getting an artist edition of his X-Men run coming out in January, or maybe in form, whatever his intention. It's a helpful thing to bring up. I'm very much excited for that.
Oh.
I'm hoping that when that comes around, I will find, you know, from our point of view, about 165 extra Canadian dollars to find my own copy. Yeah, maybe I'll sell an extra piece of art here or there and get a Paul Smith artist edition of his X-Men run. I love that idea of being able to read it in sort of one beautiful book and see. Totally. I wonder how many different people own those pages. I'm always curious about that. Like, is it color? Like, for instance, Simonson has all of his own art. Generally speaking, like he didn't sell.
He's like known for having his own art.
Yes, and which is one of the reasons he has the most artist editions.
Right, because he has it. He's like,
he has it.
It's easy for package it together. Sure,
Scott Dunbier can track down one guy, and there you go. Now, same with Dave Mazzucchelli, right? His Daredevil run and his Batman Year One, he has them, the pages. Right. So assembling them was just a question of, does Mazzucchelli want to do it, and he did. So, you know, lucky for us. Now, when it comes to Paul Smith, I'm curious as to where his pages are. But anyway,
who knows? Another thing about this cover.
Yes, sir.
If you know, coming to it cold and, you know, have to like look, I'm like, what's that? Oh, okay, it's NIMROD behind that. I can see that. This might be the silliest I've seen the Hellfire Club. And that says a lot considering they dress like 18th century aristocracy. This is so, I don't even know, and the colors that they wear and the capes. I don't know.
I gotta say, Chuck, man, that's no apologies for awesome Paul Smith talk. Come on, man. It's exactly on track.
We go off track all the time.
It's exactly on track. This is.
What the heck is going on with these designs of the Hellfire Club?
Well, I think we know the answer. We've been tracking a thread of JR and costume designs. And he is...
If you could call it that. Oh.
From my point of view, and you guys beg to differ, it's okay. You can disagree. He has yet to throw down one costume design for a character that has endured the test of time, I think, up to this point in X-Men. Outside of X-Men, I'm not even talking about, but just within X-Men, every time that he's made a contribution to someone's costume, it's either been erased quickly after or, you know, down the road. So I don't think any of them have stuck around. And his villains, I mean, these are, the guy on the top they all look ridiculous. They're actually scarier when they're wearing their like Renaissance fair, not Renaissance fair, but
like aristocratic.
Yeah, they're aristocratic. They're 19th century aristocratic, whatever it is. Like they look scarier like that.
Absolutely.
And
because who dresses like that? These guys do. Right?
I would still, if I would try to find like that place where you take those costumes and then iterate on them a tiny bit, like deviate from them where you're adding an element. Like with this dude up in the top who looks like a gang member from the Warriors, like maybe.
But he looks like the older version of the guy from the Warriors who just didn't age well. Sure. Same with comic book guy.
I mean, comic book guy.
That's comic book guy dressing as the Collector from the Halloween.
It is so bad.
Halloween episode.
It is so bad.
When Xena needs Zex.
There you go. I mean, you're saying it, and so is Chuck. He's saying Harry Leland looks like comic book store guy cosplaying as that dude from Thor. Yeah, it's so bad.
It's so. Anyway,
I'm gonna chalk it up to it's just not JRJR's strength, and B, he's just cranking out those pages. So I'm working on pages right now where I'm going fast, and I have to draw 6 protagonists and about 5 antagonists.
Yeah,
And there's very limited clothing for these characters and like
absolutely.
limited palette. And I never made character reference sheets and like their costumes are not interesting.
No.
And I'm feeling empathetic towards JRJR, but I'm also not as good as him anyway. And I think has less of an excuse. These costumes are awful.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck says, say what you want about the Hellfire Club's sartorial choices, but at least they had their dignity. Sure, you're right. Freaky deaky, Jason Jose says. Yeah, I mean, Celine is classic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, let's get into this. Can you add? Well, there's actually no original art of this one that was online. I couldn't find any of his original pencils or anything. Oh, this is it. We just go to the next page. This is the book.
That's the
just
book.
Do it, bro. Look at that. See, Romita.
Right.
That's it. Right there.
Right.
He's got it.
Right.
These covers with lots of characters. One character on a page. This is perfect. It does everything it's supposed to do. He really, really can own a page where he can spend some time on it, but where he's got to do all this stuff. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Right?
I hear you.
Yes. I can read as much of this version of Romita as we can possibly get. And he's made to be on a book with a single person. Like, get him on Daredevil. That's my suggestion.
Right.
And then after Daredevil, get him on Punisher.
And Punisher, one character. Right.
You know what? And at some point, get him on Spider-Man again.
Right. And then make sure Punisher crosses over with Batman.
Get him on Thor, too, to get to do some Kirby stuff, and get him back on Spider-Man.
And then get him back on Wolverine.
Good things. Yeah, get him on Wolverine. So basically, I think he figures out from X-Men that he's not meant to be a team book guy.
Right.
But he does come back to X-Men, by the way. We're just not going to go there right now. All right.
All righty.
Whoa. You ready for this, Chris?
Let's do it.
Stanley presents Retribution, starring the Uncanny X-Men. A mile beneath Manhattan's streets is the shadowed secret place where the Morlocks dwell. They're mutants, self-proclaimed outcasts from a world that mostly fears them, solely because they're different. It's here that the X-Men, mutants also, but heroes, oftentimes saviors of that self-same world, hunted as outlaws for their trouble, have come to lick their wounds. After what may be, for the youngest of them, Shadowcat, the most awful of betrayals.
Wolverine, how could you? What have you done?
So she's even got these, like, I'm going to say Madonna gloves.
Sure.
Yeah. And then the bracelets, like she's going a little.
And the belt hanging off the hip there.
Yeah, that's a great touch, by the way. It's
actually a second belt. There's 2 belts there.
Yes. And Storm does something similar, as does Rogue. And I think it really actually adds movement to a lot of characters because you can have that belt shift down the difference between waist and hips. And it helps accentuate those things and create movement in a design and asymmetry and all those pieces. And if you watch closely in upcoming books, there's more and more of that with our favorite Peregrines. And this also, I'm seeing this high collar on Kitty, and it reminds me of the Peregrines too.
Sure.
As well as her color scheme.
Sure.
But anyway.
Interesting.
80s glam punk, Jason Jose is saying.
Yeah.
Do we really need any of that box text on this page, Chuck says? I'm going to say yes, we do. Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr., and Dan Green. It's that team that we've seen for a long time. Of course, with stalwarts, Tom Orzechowski, Glynis Oliver, Ann Nesenti, and Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. Those bottom 4 have been there for a very long time. It's great.
They certainly have.
And we get the smallest indicia of all time in an X-Men comic.
Yeah, can't read that. So.
Woo!
Rachel was our teammate, our friend, but you went after her like you were the deadliest supervillain. You may have even killed her.
Yep.
Is that all you've got to say?
You put me on trial, girl.
I want an answer.
What I did had to be done, Punkin.
Don't you ever call me that again. That's a nickname a friend uses. I don't think you qualify anymore.
She gave me no choice.
You are as quick as your namesake, Wolverine. Your bones are unbreakable. As a warrior, you have no fear. Yet your only recourse against Rachel was lethal force. Your claws?
If I had another option, Nightcrawler, don't you figure I'd have used it?
There had to be a way. You're always telling me that.
Not this time. She was too powerful, too obsessed. And I was too weak. Ray was going to kill the Black Queen. I couldn't let that happen. Before you go further, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
This drug of Nightcrawler between Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. So we know Wolverine at his tallest is like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", whatever.
Right.
And Kitty's about that size too. How small must Nightcrawler be in this version? That he's below both of them?
Teeny tiny.
Yeah. Romita has never really drawn him in any of that heroic. The version, even we got out of Byrne, or especially Cockrum, who really does draw him in with a heroic build.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just a very diminutive, kind of beaten down version. It's not a good looking Nightcrawler.
No.
Yeah. But anyway.
You're crazy. Celine's a vampire, as evil a creature as they come. Are you saying her rotten life is worth more than an X-Man's?
We're not talking a fair fight between them. Not even close. Ray went into the Hellfire Club with one goal: to execute any of their inner circle she found there. You approve, Shadowcat? Is that what the X-Men have become? Murderers? Like it or not, girl, we're heroes. We're supposed to stand for something. If we break the rules or throw a man away, why should anyone follow him?
And if we do, we answer to you, huh? Who appointed you the keeper of my conscience, fella?
Enough, both of you. What is done is done. I understand your decision, Logan. That does not mean I sanction it. However, this is not the time to argue the point. Rachel still lives. She is hurt, lost. She must be found before she causes any further harm. Callisto, we would appreciate the Morlocks' assistance.
You're chief of the tribe, Storm, as well as the X-Men. You wish we obey. Ask me, though, it's a wasted effort. Wolvie knows his business, and he says he hit true, struck deep. Smart money bets your girl's history.
Nevertheless, Storm tells her, we shall try. The ramble in Central Park. A lovely stretch of woodland by day. Something else again after sunset. Fella is the new Buster, by the way, according to Chuck.
Oh, there we go. No, let me go, please. No, don't hurt me. No, oh no, help.
Shut up, lady. You want to keep breathing? You do as you're told. I got your money. Now you and me, we're going to have some fun.
Tonight, oh man, Celine does you the greatest of honors by taking your misbegotten life essence for her own. Better. But to have to remember such a creature as this, Schmuck? Schmack? What does that say?
It says SHIM.
Yeah.
AKH.
As this Shimak. Is that no? Okay. The fates can be cruel.
Awesome triptych there, by the way. I mean, not so much the one of her very, very disproportionate face with her eyes too close together, but first two of her, picking up this dude and then him turning to dust. Like, how clear, like that version of Ash.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that. I've watched that move, and that is a beautiful rendering of that guy just turning to nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Too good. Shimak. Yet such is the price demanded for my survival, that I experience the lives of those I slay, no matter how foul.
You saved me. Thank you.
Or innocent.
Across Fifth Avenue stands the classically imposing turn-of-the-century mansion that houses the Hellfire Club, which counts among its membership the richest and most powerful tycoons on Earth. Behind that plush facade, however, is a secret society, the Inner Circle, whose goal is the complete domination of the world. Interjection here for a minute. We're talking Manhattan, mid-1980s, right?
Sure.
Rich and powerful tycoons. You know who
Real-
I think would have been there?
Real
And would have
estate tycoons.
You know who would have? Yeah, a real estate tycoon in the Manhattan area in the mid-1980s. I would love to see an unflattering portrayal in an X-Men comic in the background.
You know,
Jason Jose says, yes, he would.
Yes, he would. We're all there. He would be there.
Yeah, I love that idea. He's at the Hellfire Club. Yeah. Anyway.
He's actually trying to get into the Inner Circle, right?
They don't want him. Of course, he's not allowed in the Inner Circle, which is why he starts his own club.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Which is going to be much better. The best that the world has ever seen. Anyway, the Lords Cardinal rule the circle. Selene is its newly ordained Black Queen. Black King and president of the entire club is billionaire industrialist Sebastian Shaw. Like Selene, he is a mutant, and in his own way, as mercilessly deadly as a predator. As mercilessly deadly a predator. Do you remember who does who, or is there any?
Yeah,
I guess you're doing
Shaw.
Selene, I'll do Shaw.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Explain yourself, Selene. Why have you summoned us?
Because, my dear Sebastian, earlier this evening, the Lords Cardinal were attacked by Rachel Summers, the X-Men's young Phoenix.
So do you think she put this costume on now that she's feeling better?
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Tony Stark is also a member, by the way.
Of course he is.
And, but maybe it's not in obviously the
It was probably Danny Rand when he's not in Kunlun.
Oh, Jason adds, that Angel is also.
Warren Worthington's 100% there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She meant to kill me.
A pity she did not succeed.
But her teammate Wolverine prevented her.
How does this concern us? There is considerable personal animosity between you and the girl. Obviously, her intent was to settle the feud.
She came here with one purpose, Sebastian, to slay the Lords Cardinal and destroy our Inner Circle.
Assassination is not the X-Men's way.
Are you calling me a liar, Shaw?
And if I am?
Shaw, Selene. Wolverine's intervention, the fact that he inflicted a near mortal wound on a putative comrade, indicates that Phoenix may have broken her teammates and become a rogue operative. Heed your Lehman?
New word for me, man. It says Leman. Leman?
Lemur? Heed your person, Shaw, as ever Tessa speaks with wisdom. I merely observe, my lady, and relate what I have seen.
Phoenix represents a threat we dare not ignore. She must be dealt with. Unlike you, Selene, I have felt Wolverine's claws. I have no wish to do so again. If he cut her, as you say, then she is most likely dead.
Believe that, Leland, and you are as much a fool as a coward. The Queen is right, my lords. Phoenix was a powerful enough psi to penetrate the club undetected and then take the Lady Selene unawares. Moreover, after Wolverine's attack, she was still able to flee these premises. It is logical, therefore, to infer that she still lives and may yet recover.
Hunting Phoenix will probably bring us into direct conflict with the X-Men.
Are you afraid, Shaw? If so, perhaps the time has come for a queen to rule.
You desire my place, madam? Then take it, if you can. As it happens, however, I agree with you about the girl. Her insult cannot be pardoned, nor the danger she represents ignored. But I want her alive, Celine. A tool we can perhaps reshape to our purposes. Is that understood? Alive!
Of course, Sebastian.
I want her taken alive. Sorry.
I understand perfectly.
Do you want to be...
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Sure. Scanning mode, New York County, colloquial referent, Manhattan, refining sweep, multiple class 1 contacts, mutants, and enhanced power beams. Avengers Mansion, Hellfire Club, writing locations to memory for subsequent termination. Refining sweep, beep, 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 beep. Alert, alert, alert. Class Omega contact, location, Central Park. Accessing main memory for Identifax priority search. Code, cannot read that.
101A1.
101A1. Should we want to read this?
Codex Indent, Phoenix. Primary abilities, telepathy. The ability to perceive and project thoughts. The technological nature of this unit is sufficient against this power. Telekinesis. The ability to move physical objects solely through psychic by use of mental force. Sonic damper shields installed as a countermeasure. Warning, 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 warning. Upper limit of target subject's abilities has yet to be determined. Extreme caution is to be exercised in all phases of subject target's apprehension and or subsequent termination. That's
Ooh.
French, by the way.
Dang. Starbrand.
You ready for the new universe, bud?
Starbrand. This unit, Nimrod followed. Prime directives remain operative. This unit's function is to defend humanity. Mutant entities are enemies of the state and must be dealt with accordingly. Class Omega subjects are on par with this unit. However, data scans indicate Phoenix operating alone and at far below optimum performance levels. Recommendation: to deal with her now, while she is isolated from her fellow X-Men and most vulnerable.
Yo, Nimrod, where are you, man?
Thomas Rodriguez, the son of my human friend Jaime. I must alter my physiognomy. So he does not. So he does not suspect my true nature.
It'd be funny if you just read him still his robot voice.
It's way past your bedtime, youngster.
Because then it makes no sense that Jaime doesn't recognize that he's not a person. It's much funnier. Homework took longer than I figured. I was hoping you could check it over.
I'd like to, Thomas. But I have business downtown. Tell you what, if I can, I'll give a look in the morning before school.
That'd be great. Thanks, Nimrod. You totally sound like a real guy.
Anytime, pal. Sleep tight.
So I love that graffiti on the roof. There's one that says Raoul 179 or something. Ooh. Then there's like an anarchy symbol upside down.
Upside down.
That is
it's
crazy.
So much more radical.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Strange. It is not my function to teach, yet I enjoy helping the youth. Is this what the humans call love? How is it I feel joy, feel anything? Such behavior is anomalous. Upon returning from tonight's mission, this unit will run a full systems diagnosis examination. Shifting to combat mode.
Okay, before we go further, just to talk about Nimrod, and this is a Romita Jr. thing. So this kind of design overall did stay, like the overall look of Nimrod as he moved in. You know, he slightly alters his proportions as he goes, but like Nimrod pretty much is recognizable even today from this. But it always seems that he just sort of like morphs almost magically, as opposed to there being like a process by which flesh turns to technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how cool and time consuming it would have been to have that, like the way Arthur Adams draws Warlock as he like peels off of Cypher.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that this is that even when he's in his regular form, he is still techno-organic and it just looks like flesh, but isn't really. It would be so cool. Yeah. Wow. But this is like a fast way around it.
Totally.
Just votes for you, by the way. Your Nimrod voice is rocketing up the charts as one of your best voices. There you go. Did you see that Chuck also found us the definition of...
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man. A mistress or lover.
Wow. I'm going to try and use that in a sentence somehow.
Oh, I'm going to suggest that you don't.
In real life. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll be like, and this is my Lee man, Jason.
No. I'm Le Man. I'm the man.
I'm sorry, Le Man.
I much prefer Paramore as like I think it's a beautiful word too.
A beautiful word. It's got some, not Le Man. Lehman. Yeah. Did you say lemur? I said Lee Man.
Wait, are you doing it with a lemur?
Are you? Because you know what? Good on you. I heard it's.
Can you hook me up?
Yeah, exactly. You guys have any lemur friends? Oh, geez.
I heard they can jump. All right. Now we get some really great graffiti. It's just, I guess, a chance for maybe Orzakowski to show some lettering stuff. Lehman has a derogatory connotation.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Chris. Sorry, dude.
No. Okay, we're going to, you know what? We learned it tonight, everybody. Unlearn it tonight. Okay, everybody? Unlearn it. There you go.
I love how there's all these like thoughts that I guess he's hearing as he... Oh, no, it's Rachel.
Phoenix, yeah.
She is interpreting all these: love, sad, hate, fear, happy, rage, lonely, tired, hungry, lost, yearn. Yearn doesn't seem to fit as the way that
it's like a high school drama class.
Yes.
Improvising.
Feelings. I do like the idea that like the geography is coming into clarity over time as she's regaining consciousness. And she's able to sort of place the emotions and psychic impressions within the environment around her. Searching, hunting, headaches, going home, feeling hurt, back sore. Why don't my eyes see so good anymore? Love the midnight. Silence. Want to dance, sleep, kiss, roam. Hands cold, warm hearth. Hate these shoes. Looking so good. How many people, too many people, why'd Marge say that? Thought, never think cute blonde runner, great legs. Why don't I see Shiwi Marge? Oh my God, this is not fun to read. Run, run, run. Shin hurt too much. Body bouncing so hard. Stay this thin. Want to look nice. Be loved. Quit. No, can't. Want to breathe. Run, breathe. Not home. Go, go, go. Yeah, that's really how I feel. Cruising, hours to go. Hate nights. Shut up. Hate days. More where's a fair in my aching butt. All of you get out of my mind. Why don't nothing ever happen? Thank heaven. Shut up. Have to maintain my size shields. Block out the thoughts around me or I'll go mad. Yeah, I'm already going mad.
I think we're all going mad. Jeez.
Unless maybe I already am. Rather be dead. Ow, I'm hurt. Never been hurt so bad. Should be dead. Wolverine did this. I had Selene at my mercy. He said X-Men don't commit murder. But she deserved death. That didn't matter to him. Only way to stop me, Logan, is to kill me. So he did. Stabbed me through the heart and lungs with his lousy claws. But I surprised him. And myself, too. I didn't die. My telekinetic power blocked the wounds tight, even as he made them. That's what's keeping my heart whole and pumping. My lungs filling with air, my body from bleeding. I relax my concentration for an instant. And I'm history an instant later. Maybe that's what I should do. Silence my ghosts, my troubles, my misery once and for all. I'm so tired of running, of hurting others and being hurt, of being alone. Where can I go now? Who can I turn to? I loved the X-Men, trusted them. I needed them to be my family. Why couldn't they do the same with me? Lately, every time I did something, they made out like it was some big mistake. I was always in the wrong. I bet they never really cared about me, not a bit. That's not true. They do care. They're my friends. Storm, Kitty, Wolverine. He turned against me. Why not the others? Oh, Mommy, why did you and Dad have to die? Why can't you be here when I need you most? Why won't this nightmare ever end? Why does it always seem to just get worse? 2 bodies recently slain by Selene. I knew it. I knew this would happen. Curse you, Wolverine. See what you've done. He's really good at like running us through the environment, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good, clear storyteller. Don Alvin, hey man, how you doing? Welcome. He says, this is my favorite run of Uncanny of all time. 180s through late 2 teens. Yeah, it is. There's something, if this is like when you joined in, it's a special time for a lot of people. You have to appreciate that she's doing this inner monologue while walking through Central Park in heels.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Chuck. You're right. Directly across town in the Ind subway tunnel that runs up the west side of Central Park. Innocent people have died, Wolverine. What the?
That voice, it's Phoenix. Wolvie, look out. Yeah, it's like Rogue.
Murdered, butchered by Selene because you wouldn't let me finish her off.
Rachel, no. For pity's sake, stop.
What price is your precious morality now, little man? That's only a fraction of what those poor people felt. I hope it hurts. I hope you never forget. Just pick your pick.
Yeah, a train's coming. Wolvie isn't moving. He must be stunned. I'm closest. I'm his best chance. I wonder if his unbreakable adamantium bones can handle being run over. Probably, but why find out the hard way when I can simply phase him to safety? Hey, do you think this is where he got the idea to put his head on the tracks after Old Man? Yeah, or yeah, the character. Yeah.
Oh, the
it's
characters,
like, hey,
if that's right, they can really think.
know?
Yes, this is what inspired him to spoilers in Old Man Logan to lay on the tracks and get hit by a train. You're right.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure.
Crumbs, the engineer saw us. He stopped the train. Poor man, he must think the worst. Wolvie looks awful. Ray really did a number on him, but his mutant fast healing power should make him better. It always has. Conductor and transit cops coming this way. Now what? Wolvie's too heavy to carry, and I can't phase him far while he's unconscious. He'll suffocate. Got him. Nightcrawler, thank goodness. Get us out of here.
And with his characteristic burst of flame and brimstone, Kurt Wagner does precisely that, teleporting Shadowcat and Wolverine to the John Lennon Memorial Garden, Strawberry Fields. How very specific.
Yeah.
I love those days when Wolverine's healing factor was not like super fast on screen, take a bullet in the head,
right?
Heal by,
like he actually has recovery time, right? He has recovery time.
Yes. Yeah. Like he'll live.
Yeah.
But his body takes time to stitch itself together. I like this version of him a lot better.
Yeah.
There are stakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Isn't your week, is it, pal? First you're tortured and cut to ribbons by some loony lady samurai. See X-Men 205. And now this. Kurt, can you help him? I shall try my very best, Kitty.
Caliban is happy to see Caliban's true friend, Kitty Pryde, again. Can Caliban be of any assistance?
Even the short guy has his limits, Storm. He can't keep pushing this hard, and you can't afford to lose him.
Yeah, I dig it. I like that he has to push hard. I think it's very cool. Ooh, Chuck says the IND or independent line subway. Thank you. Yeah, I've never been on the IND because I'm a BUM. I'll be fine, Callisto. I've survived lots worse. Thanks. Hey, Cat. I'm obliged for the save. I thought we weren't pals anymore.
Give me a break. We're X-Men, you dope. We look after our own, no matter how butt-headed that person may be.
By the way, Butthead is the new mister.
Oh, yeah, Butthead's a new mister. Well, we know Red's still breathing, and unfortunately that she hates our guts. Well, Wolvies anyway. Hardly a surprise. Considering what he did, she turned to me before she split looking for a friend. I could have listened, but I turned away. We all did. I should have known better. I've been an outcast and understand how lonely that can be.
As do I. I reacted from the heart, not my head. I forgot my responsibility as leader of the X-Men. Her need was so great, so desperate. Why did I refuse to see? But the past is done. Words spoken cannot be recalled, nor actions changed. I think it's Rogue.
Okay.
Or Callisto. What do you think?
Maybe Callisto.
I think it's Rogue because she's standing next to Colossus.
Yeah, but they would have thrown some Oz in there.
Try it as Rogue. See what happens.
Sure. We must recover as best we can and try to repair the future. Since Wolverine cannot travel, we shall leave him here in Nightcrawler's care. We will.
You know what? I'm stopping you. Sorry.
Yeah.
The use of cannot tells me it's Storm.
Oh, there we go.
What do you think?
Yeah, do it.
Even though the word balloon does go to the character that should be Rogue, Storm is clearly the one with the mohawk standing in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
But the dialogue is Storm's dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
We must recover as best we can and try to repair the future. Since Wolverine cannot travel, we shall leave him here. In Nightcrawler's care, we will maintain radio contact via micro-transceiver earsets.
You
need backup, darling. You give a yell. Caliban, with Wolverine out of action, you must locate Phoenix for us. That is Caliban's curse, Storm, to sense those strange-born like himself. She is nearby, as are others. Beware hunting her. Nearby. That's not in the text, but I kind of felt like adding it. Fortunately, at this hour, and here in the ramble, there is little likelihood of our being interrupted. The quicker we're done, the happier I'll be. What in the devil is Celine playing at with that idiot Von Rome?
Your carelessness, Friedrich, nearly caused my death. But I offer you this opportunity to atone for your transgression. The moment has come to demonstrate the hereditary talent of my high priests.
With her thoughts, Celine closes a genetic switch, and the Black Rook is instantly transformed into something less than human, but far deadlier than any beast.
Find her, blood scent. As my goddess commands. Sorry.
No. I need way more of that in my life. Oh my God.
Perfect.
Yeah, this guy is just not cool looking, but I do think it's cool to have a hunter on a chain. So we get this with obviously much more to an extreme down the road. We're going to get Wild Child, over from Omega Flight into the Age of Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A pet to Sabretooth, but this idea of there being a feral hunter on the villain side is like a reoccurring trope in X-Men comics. It's a good thing too. It works always. The devil with the Phoenix brat, Shaw. It's Celine who frightens me. Tessa, analyze and evaluate. What have we seen here?
Most probably a specific voluntary transmutation talent akin to lycanthropy. activated through some psychic interface with Celine's own power. Mistress, I have her. Sorry.
No, please. Like,
Close
yes.
by and sorely wounded. Lead us to her then. Sorry.
Like, that's what he would do. He's not the most interesting, he's a little portly,
It's
a little wide around the waist, and he's got this crazy mustache, but then add in his werewolf fangs, and he can't speak clearly. It's gonna
can't speak clearly.
There's some extra drool and lisping.
Goodness.
I'm 100% down with that. I think it's a very good portrayal.
A panther is not so fast nor so strong. This night, I think Von Ream?
Yeah, Roam. I don't know. What do you want?
Will serve me well.
As you, I trust, serve me.
Scanning multiple surface contacts, identified as Morlocks and Lords of Hellfire, plus 12 classified as X-Men.
12?
12? Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
Mutant entity Phoenix appears to be the nexus of the other's activity. Majority of subjects converging on her position. Contact imminent.
Do you think he's got the X-Men that are at the mansion? Like, he's got them in the scan? Or so Magneto and 4 or 5 New Mutants?
Or maybe with the Morlocks, they're like, I know, but are they...
He identified them as Morlocks.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I guess you're right. Hellfire.
Whatever.
Lords of Hellfire. Weird.
Contact imminent, you said. Right?
Yep.
Cool. Take things one step, one breath at a time. That's it. That's the spirit. Don't stop. Just think. Sorry, don't stop. Don't think. Just keep going. Oh, great. Then what? I'm tough. I can make it on my own. I don't need any... What?
Down, boy, heel. Stay loose, Ray. Your troubles are over. Once I return Tubbo to his kennel and the cavalry aren't far behind. Glad to see you on your feet, Red. You had us worried.
Rogue. Cavalry. She must mean the X-Men. But do I want them to rescue me?
Claw's tearing at my costume. Oh, no. His bare skin is touching mine.
Immediately, Rogue absorbs Von Rome's power, his memories, the totality of his psyche. And since he was Celine's slave, she becomes the same.
Your blood, your heart, you wretched girl are mine. So soon your soul will belong to my goddess.
Rogue's possessed, and my Cybolt, my attack on Wolverine left me too drained, too weak to stop her.
What? This prison of rock should hold you X-Men until the power you stole reverts to its rightful owner. Behold, Sebastian, Phoenix is ours for the taking. The heck she is, witch. I'll have you free, Rogue, in a jiff. Ouch. Keep rolling, kid. Keep your distance. Be ready to phase so Rogue won't accidentally absorb your power. Now, Celine, you creeps are in real trouble? Rogue, she looks so different, so scary. Foolish child. Your compeer is under my influence. Slay her, Rogue. No. Rogue, you're yourself. Hardly, kiddo. Transfer shock knocked me for a real loop, but now I'm back in control of my head.
This is Colossus.
Oh, yeah. Where is Rachel? Storm, she has fled.
The X-Men have no quarrel this night with you, Shaw. Leave Phoenix to us. Let both groups go their separate ways in peace. Now, just a note, by the way, we've been in a fight for, 2 pages. Colossus doesn't have to even be there yet.
Nope.
Like, we've got the strongest character, on the team, and he's just totally put to the role of throwing Shadowcat.
Yep.
Like, he can leap and then land in the middle of this and knock someone silly. Yeah, Claremont just doesn't have any love for him anymore, it seems.
No, doesn't seem to.
Regrettably, Storm, we Lords Cardinal have other plans. Leland, deal with Colossus.
Boy, shamoy.
Harry Leland's title is the Black Bishop. Like Shaw, he's a mutant, with the ability to affect a person's or object's mass to a fantastic degree. In the blink of an eye, Colossus becomes so dense and massive
Peter!
that solid ground gives him no more support than air.
No, Rogue, you'll not save him. I possess absolute control over any and all inanimate objects, including my gloves. Salim's disintegrating them. I'm absorbing Peter's power. My body's turning to steel. He's become human, but Leland's still dragging him down. If I don't let go, I'll tear his arm out of his socket.
I like Rogue's metal hair.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
She should just go kill everybody now.
Well, right, exactly.
Shaw, should I release the boy? Yield such a considerable tactical advantage? Absolutely not. Colossus will either suffocate underground, or one of his teammates must go to his rescue. Ha, see? What chance have the X-Men now?
Storm, what do we do?
Be calm, Shadowcat. All will be well. Nightcrawler,
Yeah?
can you both travel?
Yeah?
Come at once. Callisto, you also. Rogue,
Closing on Colossus.
leave him.
No!
Execute an immediate Earthshaker against the Lord's Cardinal.
Storm, he'll die.
Not if you are quick. Neutralize Leland, and Peter will no longer be affected by his ultramass power. Then he can be saved. You have lost, Storm. Surrender, and we will spare the boy. And if I do, at the very least, you will live. Consider the alternative. Hellfire goons can sense their thoughts at the drop on Storm. But if I warn her, even telepathically, Celine will hear. She'll find me again. If I do nothing, Storm could die. Good, great. Serve her right. Let them all suffer. Stop it. They're the X-Men. I should stand by them. Why? I haven't been any real use in the past. They'll get out of this fix. They always have. Besides, I'm too badly hurt. I'll probably only make matters worse. It's my fault they're in such a mess. If I leave, I won't really be abandoning them. I'll be saving them by taking away the reason for the fight. I refuse your generous offer, Shaw. We will not yield, ourselves or Rachel. Your funeral.
That's our cue. Gunner. Who says that? There it goes. Mutants. I am NIMROD. Your physical nature automatically brands you as felons. The unsanctioned use of those mutant abilities is a capital crime, punishable by death.
Okay. I always like the idea that when a character like announces there, like I am Nimrod. I mean
Nimrod.
Like they just can't
Schmiddelbrook.
get it right the first time. Schmiddelbrook. Yes.
Schmiddelbrook.
Oh, good old Jordan Schmiddelbrook. I'm looking over. Ooh, look at this. Oh, we got to read one here. There's lots of good people writing their letters.
Yeah.
It's very cute. So there's one guy who is Matthew Lippman, MD, Chairman, National Association of Public Health, Council on Smoking Prevention. So I kind of want to read what it says.
It's got to be about Wolverine, right?
Here we go. Dear Ms. Nascenti. Oh, geez.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you for your wonderful portrayal of the effects of smoking as shown in X-Men 196, page 12, panels 1 through 6. I have long been concerned over having a hero such as Wolverine, shown as a cigar smoker. The use of a powerful heroic figure indulging in smoking with no ill effects is similar to the modern ad campaigns for cigarettes, which shows smokers as healthy and glamorous. This can set up false expectations of invulnerability in readers. Now, however, we have an explanation. Wolverine is only able to smoke because his mutant healing ability protects him. When Kitty tries his cigar, she chokes and suffers runny eyes for the next 4 panels. Wisely, she decides, this is one vice I'll skip. In that little exchange, you have shifted the focus and given us another truly heroic but vulnerable role model, and show her making a wise, independent decision, one which will encourage and inspire your readers. Michael Littman, MD, Chairman, National Association for Public Health Policy, Council on Smoking Prevention. Whoa, and the response from Anne and crew is, seemed like the sensible thing to do in a world where even Don Johnson of Miami Vice has decided to kick the habit. Whoa, talk about a dated reference.
Totally.
Don Johnson.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Don Johnson.
I actually have a Don Johnson thing to say, too. Go ahead.
Well, connected to Don Johnson is his daughter, Dakota Johnson, who I recently watched star in the film Madam Web on my flight.
Do you think they're related?
On my flight to San Francisco. Because I thought to myself, how else can I make this flight unbearable? And I thought, I'll watch Madam Web. Anyway.
And?
I'll say this. I think, every movie, every comic book movie, those things have, they often have their pros and cons, and hopefully they lean more towards something that's enjoyable. This seemed joyless, particularly, and like no one, got the sense that no one liked anybody on set, and it didn't, and the voiceover of the villain was terrible, and it's like really, really bad. So apologies to any Madam Web fans out there, but I actually found it like this must have been like a gauntlet to make. Does not seem fun at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You and I listened to an episode of How Did This Get Made?
We did.
On a drive to Deep River, Ontario. I think on the way back, perhaps. I can't remember which way we listened to it on, but we did listen to them talk about this movie as well. And they did not like it in any way.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that it was bad, but I'm surprised you decided to watch the whole thing.
Well, I was on a plane, and I thought, and then to top it off on the way back, I watched Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which I will admit isn't a great movie, but they look like they're having fun. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll give them that. They seem to it's a whole there's a whole. I mean, I'm not gonna deconstruct Aquaman too, but I will say that right, there's something there too. But I will say that they seem to actually enjoy each other's company on screen. A lot of these characters, it's incredible how they don't enjoy each other. Like you're watching it, you're just kind of going, wow, no one likes this. Does anyone want to be here? Does anyone want to show up for this at all? There's a few people putting in good supporting roles, doing that work, right? But generally speaking, you're like, I mean, you can anyway. Amazing. I don't know how an experience can be so lacking of any joy or positivity.
Right.
Basically, yeah. Anyway,
that's unfortunate. Trevor wants a computer. How you doing, man? He says, "Oh, there are no Madam Web fans to hurt Chris," and he might be right.
He might be right.
Obviously, Dakota Johnson keeps getting work, so she has. She has people who want to watch her in films.
Sure, sure.
I don't know if I've ever actually watched a Dakota Johnson movie.
50 Shades. She's in all the 50 Shades ones, right?
No, I have not watched.
What about the other 50 Shades one? There's 3 of them. No, okay.
And not the other either.
Not the other. But
one. She's in something else, isn't she?
Isn't she? She got a few things she's in, right?
I don't recall ever seeing her in a movie. Anyway.
That's the connection to Don Johnson. There you go.
Her mom's awesome, though.
Her mom is.
I'm going to say because of the naming. So she's Dakota Johnson. So she's Don Johnson's daughter. She must be Dakota Fanning's daughter because that's where the Dakota. No, she's Melanie Griffith's daughter. Melanie Griffith and Antonio
Banderas.
That's
You're right.
her stepdad, right?
You're right. She's Melanie Griffith's kid. Yeah.
Yeah, Melanie Griffith is hilarious.
This turned into a Dakota Johnson chat about on previously X-Men.
Well, I'm glad you got to watch that movie, but I don't have the patience to endure.
Okay, so here's a
that version of bad movie anymore.
Here's a connection to X-Men. Another one. There is a character who plays the Julia Carpenter version of Spider-Woman, who we just saw 2 issues ago as part of Freedom Force.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not just any woman. Isn't it that actress that
Sydney Sweeney?
People like? Yeah,
Sydney
I also
Sweeney.
haven't seen her in anything.
No, Chuck, we need to talk about a Dakota Johnson at the Oasis show.
Yeah, she probably went. I just like the idea that there is this Don Johnson reference in a
right. That's true. That's
good. So much of that time period.
And
I wasn't allowed to watch Miami Vice as a kid, and I've never seen it because
you watched the movie.
I did. It's a Michael Mann
movie.
Right? Yeah. I think I actually watched that one on an airplane.
Okay, so there's the context. Okay, I don't know anybody else in the chat. Please let us know if you do this. I purposely look if I'm on a flight for longer than a couple hours, like movie time, and I'm not looking after my kids. I'm not trying to, be that person on an airplane like, hey, you got something to eat? No, kids got to go to the bathroom, all that kind of stuff. I will look for movies that I purposely will not see anywhere else because I'm like, I will not watch this. And other movies are on there that are good that I want to see on a bigger screen. So I won't watch them. Like Furiosa was one of the options. I wanted to watch that, but I'm like, I don't want to watch it on an airplane. Or like Dune was there, or other things like that.
Oh, Dune, you absolutely have to watch.
So that's all.
Just not on an airplane.
So that's what I'm saying. When I get on the airplane, I look for the Black Adams, to watch.
I can't get through them anymore. There's like a degree of
totally.
Like lack of, I don't know I don't have the articulation at the moment to.
Well, patience.
No, I mean, I'm not seeing anything in the movie that's making me continue to watch.
Right.
It's like seeing the puppet strings. I'm like, I can't even watch this.
And obviously to each their own, you can enjoy all. We don't want to say,
I know. I'm talking about for me, man.
I know. But I do find
I can't watch them.
I do find that. And so for those Sony movies have been great for that. Those Sony Spider-Man, like, oh, Morbius? Sure, I'll watch that. Why not?
I did try and watch. So I can watch movies. So I draw right here.
Yeah.
My thing is here. And I also draw right here on my traditional drawing board. And so I have movies on that are there. So it's either right there or right there as I draw. So it has to be something that I've seen before or doesn't require a lot of eyes. So nothing with subtitles because you got to always be reading.
Yeah, totally.
And nothing too cinematic. So I do rewatch a lot of things that I've seen in the past, but they have to, I have to be able to watch them and enjoy them. So Captain America Winter Soldier is perfect because I can go and I'm going with it.
And the same thing, after I watched Aquaman 2, I had like an hour left before my flight landed. And I was like, now I'm going to watch an episode of Mandalorian because it was also on there. I'm like, perfect.
I would binge through season 1 again.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was season 1. I'm like, thank you very much. Yeah.
I've had an incredibly productive 2 days. This week has been great. Mm-hmm. Not having band practice on Monday night really makes my Tuesdays better. But I've watched so much Next Generation today.
Okay.
It's nice to hear those guys. And I got to just go back and say Picard is just the best. So, Don Johnson, though.
Sure.
There's a Netflix movie called Rebel Ridge.
Yes.
I'm going to just say it does not need to be called Rebel Ridge. Like it's not a meaningful enough title.
But it was getting some buzz, right? As a movie?
I don't know.
Or at least I'm like, I thought, I know the name. So to me, that suggests that I've seen that somewhere. Yeah, okay.
Someone I respect recommended it.
Yeah.
And not as being like, oh no, you got to watch this movie. Just as like, hey, if you're looking for something to watch that fills that time, you're looking for a story about a person who's wronged by the crooked cops, and they go on a path of tearing up, the hell raising. Like, give it a watch.
Go watch Madam Web.
Go watch Madam Web. So Rebel Ridge, like there's nothing wrong with that movie. It works for what it is.
All right.
And So that was a good one. But once in a while I had to turn because there'd be like a good action scene.
Sure.
So that was okay. Yeah. Chuck says Lord of the Rings, an all-timer for background rewatch. Yeah. I tend to get sucked into the emotional moments a little bit and kind of want to see those things. I have to choose something that's not visual enough to engage me, but where I'm into the narrative. So it's hard to find that sweet spot. I listen to a lot of like YouTube interviews and podcasts as well. So we'll see. But maybe next gen is what I'll do next. Do you have any recommendations, Chris, for something that you think would fit my mandate to help me get through? Because I have some comics to finish.
To put on in the background while you... Did you watch the Shogun series?
Oh, yeah. You can't. That's not a background show, dude.
Background.
That one is like... It's subtitles, by the way.
Yeah.
And
you could put on... would you put on Blue-Eyed Samurai again?
Oh, I haven't done that one probably 3 or 4 times.
Oh, so good.
By the way, if you guys aren't following Trevor, 16 Shooter, chat, you're not following him on Instagram, you're missing out on his unbelievable photography on action figures. And I was thinking of you the other day. Trevor, I watched Fire and Ice.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't usually watch that genre, and that one's it's like Ralph Bakshi animation studio with Frank Frazetta on like character designs and storyboarding and crazy stuff. And there's been some amazing toys from of those characters of late. And Trevor has been doing toy photography of some sword and sorcery type characters as well, from like Four Horsemen and like unbelievable like high quality images that like you just they're mind boggling. So yeah, you should check out Trevor's work. It's phenomenal. Hey man, you know what I got that. I already opened them. I'm not gonna open them. It's Cobra Commander, like this series, 6-inch.
It looks really good.
Oh, but I also did watch I watched the Transformers movie again.
The 87
animated.
Yeah. You got the
and I was thinking about Trevor's saying it's Fire and Ice has nostalgia, it's cool, but dated. Oh, it's super dated. Super dated. I would love an update as well, but you're gonna lose Frazetta's touch. In Peregrine's Badlands, there's a moment that the two cousins, the rivals, are about to like throw down, and it's a really short fight. Like it's not epic. The context is great, but there are 10 characters fighting in that moment. So it was kind of I was scripting it today while I was like, drawing and having a laugh, and it was like, one guy yells Alfredson or whatever he calls him, like, cousin, one shall stand.
Oh, nice.
And then it gets interrupted. I was like,
the touch.
I was just like doing that whole scene
totally
in my head as I'm drawing and having a laugh at you and trying to get as much of those kind of references in there from dialogue. It doesn't matter because the reader just has to understand that this is their version of that fight, as opposed to actually the greatest fight of all time between two.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, that's everything I have to say on that. You want to call it a night?
Sure. And to Trevor's point, I do want to check out that Terminator anime. It looks like cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the Twilight of the Gods is a new one on Netflix. It is a Zack Snyder produced and directed animation show with Jay Oliva, who done a whole bunch of DC animation. It is a like Viking tale of revenge against the gods. Lots of dong.
I'm listening.
Lots of dong.
I'm listening.
Got your attention.
Is this safe to watch in an airplane?
It is safe to watch. Sure. I mean, who are you sitting next to? But it's lots of they're bringing the brain in a big way. But it's some violent, crazy Viking, interesting to look at stuff. So if you're into some Viking revenge and a lot of brain, then there you go. Obviously. Twilight of the Gods for some Zack Snyder goodness in his way, with a little bit of slow-mo, even though it's animation.
Sure.
Which is cool. Yeah, what do you guys think of Transformers 1? Matters to you says, I have not seen it.
Haven't seen it yet. I hope
And
to see it.
Yeah, that one I will wait for streaming service. I do not think I'll ever pay for a Transformers movie again. I paid for the first one, the first live action.
Right.
And it has an audience, and I'm not in that audience. So that's okay. Every time I try and watch one of the movies on the small screen, I also do not enjoy it very much.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I've enjoyed most was probably Bumblebee, because that one I felt had a through line, like there was a plot, and it kind of stuck to the plot. And
the Bumblebee movie is great,
and the Transformers looked good.
Well, especially the opening sequence when it was like it reverted to that kind of 86 Cybertronian.
Yeah.
Great.
So that one I thought was watchable. The other ones I find very, very hard to watch.
Right.
Even when Anthony Hopkins is there. And the Transformers are the Knights of the Round Table or something.
Yeah, I still don't understand how that went down. But I mean, something like that.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Hey,
what's up?
October 5th, we will be in Whitby, Ontario at Whitby FanCon on October 5th. I'm looking forward to that one. Lots of our friends are going to be there too, which is exciting in terms of creators we get to hang out with. It should be fun. We usually have a nice day in good old Whitby, Ontario.
We eat some pizza. It's going to be good.
We'll eat some pizza. We'll probably have too much pizza that day because they often give us pizza in the afternoon too, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Did they give us pizza last year, or did we just order one for fun?
No, they do. No.
Didn't I steal a pizza?
I think you may have.
And I brought the whole pizza to our table?
Yeah. That was something we probably did, yeah.
Have I done that twice?
A couple of times.
Okay. Anyway, there'll be then pizza after. Anyway, should be fun. Comics. Not just comics. And then, of course, October 27th in Newmarket, Ontario will be the Wayside Creator Con up at the Market Brewery in Newmarket, Ontario. Tons of amazing comic creators coming to that one. And it should be a really fun day up in Newmarket. And then November 16th in Mississauga, also more pizza.
There's a theme here.
There really is. I'm very excited. I can't remember the date of the Mountain Music Festival in March, but Chuck, you're right. It's coming. We're gonna have that, and I just can't get these purples right in this.
You mean in every time PNG or whatever, right? Like the
every time I send this image through something, I'm getting like the red that I use is so subtle. I don't know if it translates in different file formats. I'm going for a cool red. Like I don't mean cool as in hip or interesting. I mean as in not warm. Right. But it's something like that. Anyway, that's just putting that out there. That's where our website, of course, group7comics.ca. And you can follow us on socials at Group of Seven Comics. Of course, I'd like to thank you, Chris, as always, for hanging out here, writer of Group of Seven Comics. You are a really, really nice person.
Thanks,
I'm glad you're here.
Who sometimes makes poor movie decisions.
I'd say regularly.
Definitely on the reg.
Click like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, throw a comment in the comments below if you're on the rewatch later. It's much appreciated. It really does a lot to continue engagement and makes a big difference for us with our ever-growing climb to pick a number, 400, 500, whatever the number might be.
Sky's the limit, pal.
Yeah. Of course, we will see you next week on Previously in X-Men, and we're really happy to have everyone hanging out with us for the night. It's been a nice chill night, not that intense an episode.
No.
And we'll see what happens. Hopefully this story concludes next issue. There's a great cover coming next issue, which I'm looking forward to. And we're leading up, of course, toward the Mutant Massacre, which is a fascinating time in X-Men lore. So that is very cool. And as always, we hope everyone out there stays safe and stays X-y. And you're not sure what to do? Why don't you go watch an X-Men cartoon or go read an X-Men comic or do something X-related and be kind to people while you do it. And that's all good with us. And thanks, Bub, for tuning in. And we'll see you next time on Previously in X-Men.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Peace. That's